Well, it's been an exciting week for Evangel Sports, and we had a big milestone victory on Saturday.
400 career wins for Coach Whitehead.
That was supposed to be a surprise. Going somewhat under the radar, volleyball coach Mary Whitehead neared her 400th victory as head coach of the EU volleyball team with win number 399 against William Penn on Friday. The ladies match up against Culver Stockton on Saturday with an opportunity to get Coach Whitehead her 400th victory, and boy, was it a thriller. The Crusaders jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but watched that lead quickly dissolve as Culver Stockton took the following 2 sets to even the match at 2 sets apiece. Evangel came out firing in the 5th set, eventually getting the win 3-2. Coach Whitehead sealed her 400th victory, adding to her already all-time program-leading win total. And in her 17th season, she became the 3rd active coach in the Heart of America Conference with 400 career wins. The Crusaders continue on the road and look for Coach Whitehead's 401st victory when they head to Peru, Nebraska to take on Peru State on Thursday at noon.
Evangel football traveled to Graceland this past Saturday. It was a slow first half, but in the second half, Evangel would score 17 unanswered points. Breaking it down, midway through the third, Blake Woodard would find Dallas Hester for a 23-yard touchdown. Hester would lead Evangel in receiving yards with 3 catches for 45 yards offense. A Derek Roberts field goal and a fourth quarter 23-yard run from Cade Wilkie would seal the deal. Freshman Jeffrey Griffin had a pretty good game as well, leading the Crusaders rushing with 57 yards on just 2 carries. On the defensive end, Josh Evans added to his season sack total. Evans would also add a tackle for a loss and a pass breakup. Devin Overall returned to lead Evangel with 10 tackles, while Talacey Wilder added 2 sacks in the win. Crusaders win 24-7, ruining Graceland's homecoming. Up next, Evangel has a bye week and will pick up South Division action on October 15th against Mid-America Nazarene.
Evangel has a bye week and will pick up South Division action on October 15th against Mid-America Nazarene. Dipping below 500 for the first time this season, both men's and women's soccer teams traveled to Lamoni, Iowa to take on Graceland last Saturday, looking to get back to 5-5. Graceland took an early 1-point lead in the 14th minute of the men's game and never surrendered it, going on to win the matchup 1-0, shutting out the men for the 3rd time this season. The ladies saw a mirage of shots from Graceland as they got off 29, including 9 on frame, putting 4 in the back of the net, losing 4-0. The ladies dropped to 4-6 along with the men. They travel to Kansas City on Tuesday to take on Avila. The women's game starts at 1 and the men's at 3 o'clock. Well, after the quick start to the men's and women's soccer seasons, it's been a little rough going. But hey, the football team is now out to a 2-5 start.
Absolutely.
Not too many games left in the season, but still an opportunity to finish at 500 if they can get things going.
And more importantly, they have the opportunity to make the playoffs. But since conference play will just start after this bye week, so that's pretty exciting.
Well, the men's soccer team has made great improvements to their game this year. Brian Ebricht has the story.
While the season last year was one of rebuilding, the Evangel women's soccer team has made noise in the Midwest this season. Coach Bruce Deaton says that it feels like the team has skipped a year because of their exponential growth.
We've made rapid change, rapid growth, rapid progress this year. We're 9 matches in, we're halfway through the season. Currently we're 4-5 overall, and that was after a launch year last year that we were winless throughout the year.
Lots of things go into the making of a successful team, especially in a competitive conference like the HAC. But Coach Deaton says it comes down to the players themselves.
They've done the work. We've worked very hard, and we have stayed focused on what our true goal was, and that's just to continue to grow in the game and to elevate the level of play.
Natalie Henry, sophomore forward for the team, says that the team has come together because of their love for the game.
It's something we have a passion for, so when we play with all of our hearts, and same at practice, so it's just an awesome experience.
The team is currently 4-6 and looks to continue their improvements into the postseason.
If you want to support your Lady Crusaders during their home soccer games, come on out here to beautiful Coryell Field and see all the action. Reporting for Sports Update, I'm Brian Ebrecht.
Well, as Coach said, it certainly was a launch year last year, of course, going winless. And if you look at the way the year started, the way the year went last year, this year is a massive, massive improvement.
Dramatic turnaround.
Even if they were to lose every other game this season, this is still a massive improvement from last year's.
Massive improvement.
Well, after the break, we'll be revealing the Player of the Week.
We'll also be going over some of Evangel's upcoming games, so stay tuned.
Did you know there's a place online that is home to Evangel University student media? Well, on CrusaderMedia.com, you can listen to KECC Radio Live, watch the most recent News Watch Today and Sports Update shows, as well as watch the past student-directed EU films, read the Lance student newspaper online, learn more about the Excalibur yearbook, read profiles on featured students, faculty, and staff, and even stay up to date with campus life by watching the hilarious EU Cribs dorm life videos and much more. Head over to CrusaderMedia.com today and stay up to date with life at Evangel University.
It's been a mediocre season at best for the men's golf team here at Evangel, but we did have one player get a personal victory last week. Victoria, tell us about our Player of the Week.
Congratulations to Dylan Beckemeyer from the men's golf team. Beckemeyer placed first at the Evangel Fall Classic Invitational, finishing with a 217. Dylan finished in the top at the Labor Day Invitational and placed in the top 20 at their last event at the CMU Eagle Open. It seemed like he just keeps on improving. He is a junior from Republic, Missouri, and will be majoring in accounting. We wish them the best for the golf team as they move on to the rest of their season.
I think that's the first personal victory from the past 2 seasons on the golf team, because we reported on them last year. Don't think they had any W's. So Dylan Beckemeyer has the first victory in a couple seasons for the golf team, which is very, very impressive.
So Beckemeyer, he's very deserving of
Yes.
this Athlete of the Week.
Victoria, also tell us about our Games of the Week.
All right, first we have the volleyball team with a matchup against Peru State on Thursday at noon. Peru State is third in the conference with a 6-1 conference record, where their last loss just happened this Friday. Then we have some women's soccer conference action with a game on Friday at Culver Stockton at 6, and a home game next Tuesday at 1 versus Baker, who's ranked 18th nationally in the NAIA, so make sure to support the girls. Our men's team is also competing in conference play. On Friday, they play at Culver Stockton at 8:15 and kick off next Tuesday versus Baker at 3:30. Baker is ranked nationally 10th in the NAIA and 4th in conference. Wow, the Baker soccer program for both men and women seem to be having a good year. And if you aren't going to be gone for fall break, I'm sure that both the men's and women's soccer team will be appreciative of a nice, supportive crowd on Tuesday. Lastly, the cross-country team will be heading up to Kansas City for the Kansas-Missouri Border Challenge on Saturday. It's always fun to see those state border showdowns and all the athletes competing in it.
You know, we don't always get a lot of border challenges here in Springfield. The biggest rivalry that we have is that 65 series between us and College of the Ozarks.
Oh, yep.
But interesting to see the Missouri kind of cross-country teams running against the Kansas cross-country teams. Would be a nice little showdown up there in Kansas City.
Absolutely. After the break, we'll be talking with freshman volleyball's right side hitter and blocker, Emma Lander.
So stay tuned to Sports Update.
You can't keep true faith inside a church. You can't confine it to a few hours, days, or weeks. You can't share it with some people and hide it from others. You can't leave it on the side of the road to come back for it when you think you will need it later. True faith will shine through in everything you do, wherever you are, and everything you do will improve because of it, because everything we do grows out of it. Evangel University.
Welcome back to Sports Update. We are here with freshman right side hitter and blocker for the volleyball team, Miss Emma Lander. Emma, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So how's your adjustment been to college starting off? Tell us about it.
Well, it's definitely an adjustment. There's a lot going on, like just time-wise, you have to manage everything like a lot better. But it's been so much fun. It's been an adventure for sure.
So I hear you're from Crane, Missouri. So how big is Crane, Missouri? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we only have one school of about 700 people total. That's like high school, elementary, everything. So it's super tiny. And that's kind of why I liked Evangel, because it was a relatively small campus.
So tell me about how the volleyball team is doing. You guys won 2 games this past weekend, and who did you play? How did those games go?
We played Culver Stockton Saturday, and we had to make some adjustments because we had a person get hit, our leading blocker and hitter. She got hurt, so that was interesting, but I was really proud of our team for adjusting well and not letting it affect us too much, so it was good.
So looking forward, what are your guys' goals for the rest of the season?
Nationals is on our mind. We really want to get back there. The seniors were there last year, and they want to get back, and then us freshmen, we've never been, but we have heard so much about it, and we want to go. So I think that's probably our primary goal.
So playing right side, have you always played right side hitter?
No, this is actually my first time ever to play right side.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just something new when you came to college that you started?
Right. I played middle my whole life, but we had 2 really great middles already, and so Coach moved me out there, and it's been an adjustment, but it's fun, yeah.
So Morgan Kingsinger, she was one of your middles. She broke her hand this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Talk about just the seniors on the team, how you guys are going to deal with that, who's going to step up.
So we've already switched the rotation around a little bit. Jackie Fugit, who was an outside hitter, is now playing middle. So just little things like that. Everybody has to step up. You know, it's not just the seniors. Like everybody has to do better in their position to fill the big hole that was left when Morgan got hurt. So.
And in Lights, that's happened the same weekend that Coach Whitehead had her 400th win of the season. So what was that like, the emotions, the excited emotions, and then the sadness with one of your teammates breaking their hand?
Honestly, I think it was the Culver Stockton game when she got her 400th win, and we were just kind of relieved that we actually pulled it out because it'd been kind of a rough game, and so we weren't like super excited, you know, and for Coach then, but afterwards we were like, hey, like, it's your 400th win, wow, congrats, because that's a huge milestone. But it was definitely hard dealing with both of those things in the same weekend, for sure.
So with 5 seniors, are they all very close, the team?
Mm-hmm.
What is your senior leadership like? What is it like having people who have gone to nationals in the past year and know what to expect? What dynamic does that bring to the floor?
It's been awesome because our whole team is very competitive now, and we have a high standard to live up to, and so, you know, they know what it's like, they know what it takes, and they are trying to get us freshmen to, you know, do the same thing so we can go back.
And this month of October brings a lot of home games for Evangel University Volleyball, correct?
Right.
So we need to make sure that you guys get a lot of support.
Definitely, we would love the support. We have been missing having home games. We've only had 1 so far, so please come out, yeah.
Well, we will have to come and support our Lady Crusader volleyball team. So Emma, thank you so much for coming and letting us talk to you about volleyball.
Well, make sure you always find a way to support your fellow Crusaders. This is all from us at Sports Update. I'm Brock Wilson.
And I'm Sophie Shore. And again, thank you all for watching Sports Update.